We stayed at a B&B hotel in Zaandam. Worth getting the app because you get a discount. They were really helpful. They gave us this little map to get us to the bus stop, which was literally only 5 minutes away. And then we stood there looking at Dutch houses while we waited for the bus. The name of the bus stop, bit weird. There you go. You can read it rather than me saying it. But it was good schedule. The bus turned up on time. And when we got on, well, actually, the bus doesn't stop where the bus stop is. It stops a bit further down the road. So eventually when we got on, we had to beep ourselves on and beep ourselves off using a credit card or debit card that you have on your phone. But it's only one per person. So if there's two of you, you need to have a card each ready or be ready to faff around. So then we went for a hot chocolate and everything. And noticed the slag room, which actually is cream, which we didn't have on this hot chocolate. So no slag room here. We just had a hot chocolate, and then we, well, as we were walking along, we found this shop, very interesting. In there are loads and loads of parcels, undelivered parcels. So what you do is you pick one. There's a different price on depending on the weight. You take it up. So I picked up two that were under 200 grams. €5 each, and you open them up and see what it is. Anyway, now we're on the boat.
Where the emergency exits are. There are two at the front of the boat, one to the left and one to the right, and another through the hatch door in the roof. This boat is equipped with life-saving equipment, and if an emergency situation arises, the captain will distribute them and give you instructions. Remember, this is a non-smoking cruise.
When you exit the boat, please check and double check that you have all your belongings with you. Any questions?
So anyway, this trip, it takes about 75 minutes, costs €29 each, and it takes you around some of the canals of Amsterdam. Interesting, you get to see the buildings, obviously from the canal, which is quite good, and you hear some interesting facts. There are so many bikes in Amsterdam that every year, whether you believe this or not, but I heard it on the video, on the tape thing on there, they dredge out of the canal 200,000 bikes every year. And what you notice now is that along the edge of the canal, they've started putting in these little metal bars about 6 inches above the ground. And they're paid for by the insurance companies because the amount of cars that roll off and roll into the canal. So that was one of the interesting things. Something else is that there's lots of houseboats as you go along. People live on the canals, and apparently, according to again the tape on the boat, everything in Amsterdam is okay. You know, anything to do with the human body, etc., is fine. So rarely do they ever close their curtains. And as we were actually going along in one of these houseboats, there was a lady laying on the bed, her husband sat in a chair reading a book, and then at night obviously the lights are on, you can see everything going on in these places. So it kind of takes me back to when we used to have to wash the net curtains at home, and your mum would put Windoline on the windows so people couldn't see in. Well, in Amsterdam, they don't give a shit. They just leave it as it is, and anyone can look in at any time. That was another interesting fact anyway. Lots of the buildings in Amsterdam have these stone or brick fronts, but this was an act of law because years ago all these buildings were wooden, and every time they had a fire, of course, it would destroy loads of them. So what they did was they made a law to say that all wooden buildings now had to have a stone or a brick fascia. So a lot of these buildings that you see are actually wooden frames.
So here on the right side, the 7 bridges. And if you first go to the coffee shop on the left side and smoke some funny cigarettes, and then have a look, maybe you see 14 bridges.
Yine de işte.
Yeah, so that's quite a well-known little landmark, if you like. You can only view it from the canal, and you can look down and there's 7 bridges. So they take you there, let you have a quick look. And then I think it was at this point that we didn't. We carried on, because there's another bridge called the Thin Bridge, which you go under, where if you give your partner a kissy, you'll be in love forever. So all these people start having a kiss on the boat. But interesting, worth doing. I think it's one of those things when you go to Amsterdam, you know, it's like, oh, well, I've got to do it really. Enjoyed it. I'm going to cut it off shortly because it does get a bit boring if you're just watching it. Now here, this is a little row of houses. They're quite famous and appear on lots of fridge magnets. They're supposed to be like the dancing houses because they're all crooked and etc. But they were actually designed that way. It's not that time has taken its toll and they've all started leaning and bending and doing whatever. They were actually made to do that. So yeah, if you go to Amsterdam, you'll spot a fridge magnet with these little houses on. There you go. Who knew? This is a world famous hotel. All the big stars stay there. Very expensive. Your Mick Jaggers and all that kind of stuff, they rent a suite or whatever. Thousands and thousands of euros a night. So if you're feeling flush and you want a little posh outfit, outlook, then that's the place to go, isn't it, I guess.